In this video, you're gonna see
Holy
El pilar que está justo atrás.
Number 1. In late 2024, a night shift toll booth worker in Indonesia uploaded a short clip that quickly caught the attention of paranormal viewers. Working on a remote highway meant long hours alone, surrounded by darkness and silence. During a short break, he noticed something unusual hovering above a field near the roadside. At first, he thought it might just be a trick of the light, but the shape didn't move. It stayed suspended in the air. Curiosity slowly replaced fear. He began recording while carefully moving closer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nampakkan guys. Agak lain nampakkan guys.
In the footage, a faint figure can be seen floating just above the grass. Its shape is unclear, but its presence is undeniable. Suddenly, he stops walking, almost as if he realizes he may be witnessing something unnatural. After the video was shared online, viewers immediately began speculating. Some believe the figure resembles spirits described in local folklore, entities said to appear at night in isolated places, silently watching those who wander too far from safety. The man later stated he was certain it wasn't human. The way it hovered, completely still yet aware, convinced him that whatever he saw did not belong to the natural world. Number 2. This clip was shared after a woman experienced something she still can't explain. While alone in her apartment, she noticed movement out of the corner of her eye. When she turned toward the bathroom, she saw it move again. Confused and shaken, she pulled out her phone and began recording, not knowing what was about to happen next.
shit, I was just getting ready for work and I freaking saw something in my bathroom that scared the freaking shit out of me. I don't know what it was, but it looked like a ghost. Like literally, I think I just saw a ghost. I want to get out of here. I want to get out of my house. I'm so scared. It was like right there where those shadows are. Those are shadows from the towel right there. But there was like a shadow right there where those other shadows are. And it looked like a person. It looked like a ghost. Like right there. Oh shit. Holy
As she faces the bathroom, a dark shadow slowly peeks out from behind the door. It looks as if it's staring directly at her. She screams as the shape moves further into view, lingers for a brief moment, then slips back out of sight. No one else was home, and behind the door there was nothing, just a few towels. There's no clear explanation for what was captured, and if someone truly had been standing there, it would have terrified anyone who saw it. Number 3. In the early hours of the morning, CCTV footage from what appears to be a salon or training room captures something disturbing. It's just after 4 a.m., a time when no one should be inside. The room is completely still, no movement, no sound. Then, without warning, the camera suddenly detects motion, and what it records next is chilling. The fire exit door slowly begins to open on its own. Beyond it, only darkness. No one walks in. Nothing moves. After remaining open for a moment, the door slowly pulls itself shut, inch by inch, as if controlled by something unseen. Just as the room falls silent again, one of the mannequin heads lined up on a shelf suddenly tips over, crashing onto the floor. Seconds later, several items on the counter beneath are knocked off, one after another. Fast, violent, no explanation. No visible cause. Whatever opened that door didn't leave quietly, and it clearly wanted the owners to know it had been there. Number 4. Late at night, a passenger on a nearly empty train began recording after noticing something unsettling inside the carriage. At first, it looked like a normal figure sitting quietly among the seats, but the longer the camera stayed on it, the more something felt wrong.
Speak to staff or text police 61016. We'll sort it. Speak to staff or text police 61016. We'll sort it.
Some viewers believe the figure never boarded the train at all. They think it appeared suddenly, as if it came from somewhere it didn't belong. Another place, another moment. And if that's true, then the real question becomes, how long had it already been there before anyone noticed? Number 5. A man known for collecting statues with dark and tragic backstories shared something disturbing that happened inside his home. These weren't ordinary decorations. Each piece in his collection carried a history, often tied to grief, loss, or unresolved memories. Because of that, he made it a rule to research every object before bringing it inside. And the more he researched, the more unsettling some of those stories became. That's why many people believe certain objects don't just age, they absorb. On this day, he wasn't performing a ritual or trying to provoke anything. He was simply playing a song, and that's when something strange happened. If you watch closely, the statue appears to move. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just enough to make the moment feel wrong. Some believe objects connected to strong emotion, especially tragedy, can act as vessels for lingering energy. And according to that theory, the music may not have been random at all. It may have triggered something familiar, a memory the object never let go of. Of course, there's always the chance it was coincidence. But when an object with a disturbing past seems to react on its own, it becomes hard to ignore the possibility that something inside that house is still listening. So what do you think? An ordinary shift or something responding from the other side? Number 6. One night, a family was relaxing together, watching a horror movie inspired by real events. At first, everything felt normal, just another scary movie night. But halfway through the film, the power suddenly went out. The living room was instantly swallowed by darkness. Almost immediately, the mood inside the house changed. The family later said it felt heavy, as if someone had just entered the room with them. Panicked, they ran to their bedrooms, hoping whatever it was would stop there. But whatever came into the house that night didn't seem finished. Watch closely.
Bro, what the? Oh, hell.
After that night, the family says they completely stopped watching horror movies. Some viewers believe that films based on real events can trigger fear and emotion, things that might attract unwanted attention. Others think it was nothing more than nerves, intensified by the movie and the sudden blackout. But there are also those who believe that once something reveals itself, it doesn't always leave on its own. So the real question remains, was this just a one-time incident, or was it the beginning of something that waits for the house to fall silent again? What do you think? Number 7. Late one night, a man was filming when he suddenly ran into his sister's bedroom, holding a bottle of hot sauce. He was laughing, clearly expecting nothing strange to happen. He swings the camera toward the bed, but his tone changes instantly. Sitting beside his sister is a teddy bear. The moment he starts speaking, the teddy slowly tips over on its own. He points it out, saying the teddy just fell. His sister barely reacts. Calmly, she asks, "What?" as if nothing happened at all. Then something far worse happens. Watch closely.
All right, follow the hot sauce, or say something embarrassing. Follow the bear just moved.
Without anyone touching it, the teddy suddenly jerks forward. sliding toward the center of the bed. It doesn't roll. It doesn't fall naturally. It moves in one sharp, aggressive motion, as if it was pushed. The shift is fast, forceful, and completely wrong. Both of them panic instantly. The laughter stops. There are no jokes, only shouting. The camera pulls back as they scramble off the bed and rush out of the room. The footage cuts out moments later. Viewers later pointed out how unnatural this second movement was, especially compared to the first fall. The man insists neither of them touched the teddy, and that nothing like this had ever happened in that room before. To this day, he says it remains one of the most unsettling moments they have ever captured on camera. Number 8. A man had recently moved into a new apartment, unaware that his first nights there would become deeply unsettling. By July 2023, strange things were happening regularly. He kept hearing unexplained noises, and at times he thought he saw movement out of the corner of his eye. The activity became so frequent that he decided to start recording, hoping that someone might be able to explain what was happening or help make it stop. So one night, he set up his camera and began filming.
Okay, so this is my apartment, guys. So I moved here in around July, and at least I think about it was like last week I moved in, and half of his face, but it looked like white ghost. I don't know what it is, but very weird. It was very weird. But then all of a sudden, it's just crazy. Oh snap! What the heck? What the heck? Hello? What the heck? Y'all see that? Man, that thing drove by itself, and there's no wind drag or nothing. Look at the fan, look at that fan, the fan working. What the heck? Y'all saw that, right? This is what I'm talking about. It's doing it by itself. Nobody there. The frick is wrong with this? And to me, now, sometimes, I ain't gonna lie, but the air ain't on. And it usually come on. But goodness gracious, that was just weird. But this is what I'm talking about. And then 2 days ago, I decided, because I didn't get no videos from last week.
While speaking about earlier encounters, something strange suddenly happens. The door behind him slowly swings open on its own. At the exact same moment, he mentions seeing a figure that appears in the corner of his room. At first, he tries to explain it away, maybe a draft, but when he turns the camera to show the room, the ceiling fan is completely off. Still shaken, he continues recording. On a later night, he places a camera in the hallway while he sleeps. What it captures leaves him visibly disturbed. Watch closely. At first, it's hard to notice, but if you focus on the right side of the frame, something moves in the darkness. A faint white shape appears, then disappears moments later. When the footage is compared side by side, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. He believes this is the same presence he had been seeing near his bedroom, now finally caught on camera. After posting these clips, his account suddenly goes silent. More than 2 years have passed, and these remain the only videos he ever shared. Whatever he experienced in that apartment may have been enough to make sure he never stayed long enough to record again. Number 9. 2 investigators were no strangers to disturbing locations. They had explored abandoned buildings, investigated reported hauntings, and entered places most people would never visit after dark. But on November 10th, they entered a location that made them question all of that experience. The building was a former printing facility in Guadalajara. It had been closed for years, yet it was still guarded. Security workers warned them about strange activity. Children's voices heard echoing through empty halls. walls, and a figure dressed like a nun reportedly seen on the 3rd floor. They entered with multiple cameras, hoping to document whatever might still be inside. Almost immediately, the building felt wrong, disorienting, like a maze that didn't want to be escaped.
Puede observar a lo lejos entre las tumbas la oscura y siniestra silueta de algo que nos acechaba esa noche.
As they moved deeper into the structure, they eventually reached the 3rd floor, the same level connected to the nun sightings. The moment they stepped into the hallway, everything changed. The air felt heavy, silent, but tense.
Pero nada más en unas zonas, las demás lámparas están quebradas.
Sí,
no prenden.
Casi de inmediato comenzamos a escuchar sonidos extraños dentro del lugar. ¡Ay! ¡Hay voces!
¡Ay! Se escuchan voces, se escuchan gritos.
Es aquí. ¡Ay! 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 ¡Alguien habla! ¡Habla! Oye, voy a sacar aquí el Spirit Box. Porque está cabrón aquí.
Mira, 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 mira.
A la madre, la madre, la madre, la madre, la madre, la madre. Se está moviendo la madre. Se está moviendo, güey. Chivas.
Suddenly, a small tricycle rolled forward on its own. It wasn't pushed, it wasn't pulled. The pedals turned briefly, as if someone had been riding it. Then the tricycle tipped over. Seconds later, the sound of footsteps could be heard running deeper into the building.
Es arriba, güey. Mira,
Mira, está desquebrajado.
¿ya viste? Pero eso fue ahorita, güey. ¿Cómo te podemos ayudar?
Mira, mira, se está moviendo
¡Oh, la madre, güey!
el ciclo.
¿Lo viste?
Sí.
Se movió. No, no, no. ¡Ah, la madre! No seas mamón. No seas mamón.
Ay, Dios.
No seas mamón. ¡Ah! ¡Ah, ¡ay, cabrón! ¿Qué
Me dice que
miedo?
primero se movió y después como que lo empujaron.
Güey. No mames, ¿lo grabaste, güey? Yo sí lo grabé, güey.
Sí, lo grabé.
Y sí, como que lo aventaron y corrieron, güey, como algo pequeño. Toda su madre.
Se escucharon como pisadas
Sí.
corriendo para allá.
Lo que es que se fueron para allá o para acá, güey.
When they approached the area, they noticed something else. Small footprints in the dust, child-sized. They questioned whether a real child could have been there. But at that hour, inside a secured, abandoned building, it made no sense.
¿Qué es esto?
Parece-
Mira, parece brujería.
Mira, acá también hay.
Ah, ya viste, es como... Eso de allá no es como brujería, güey.
Mira. Con
¿Cómo es?
cenizas. Mira.
Estás aquí cerca de nosotros. ¿Estás cerca de nosotros?
They followed the prints into nearby rooms. What they found changed the tone of the investigation completely. Symbols, objects arranged deliberately, clear signs that suggested ritual activity. From that moment on, they moved with far more caution.
¿Estás aquí cerca de nosotros? El Spirit Box apagó, güey.
Se sigue escuchando.
Ay. ¡Ay, la madre! Fue allá adentro.
Vamos.
¡Hola! ¡Hola, madre! ¡Güey! ¿Lo escuchaste?
Sí, por acá es.
¿Estás aquí? ¿Estás aquí?
Mira, las escaleras.
¡Oh, la madre, la madre, la madre, la madre! ¿Qué fue, qué fue, qué fue?
¿Qué?
Sí está aquí, güey, sí está aquí. ¿Estás aquí? ¡A la madre! ¡Ay, puta madre, güey! ¡Ah! ¡Ah!
Hola, yo. Ve mis vellitos, güey. ¿Y cómo se me pusieron, güey?
Mira.
Esta chingadera, güey.
¿Qué se escuchó?
No sé, güey. Escuché una voz, güey. Aquí vi el niño, pero aquí estaba, güey. Aquí la escuché, güey. Mira las huellas, güey. Hay muchas huellas.
Mira, aquí hay unas manitas.
Ah, la madre, güey.
Mira, yo.
¿Qué pasó?
Unas manitas de bebé.
No,
De
man.
niño chiquito. Mira.
Sí.
Mira los deditos.
Sí está aquí, güey. Estás aquí, ¿verdad? ¿Qué quieres?
As they continued, the building grew quieter, but it didn't feel empty. They began hearing faint laughter, children whispering somewhere in the distance. One of the investigators later described sensing something else nearby, something older, watching them as they moved.
Mira.
Ahí quedó el intrusos. Y esto fue lo que vimos en la cámara de Dani.
Mira esa pintura. Una mujer.
Oiga.
¿Ya viste?
Ah, sí está como arañada.
Está arañada.
Y está rota de ahí arriba, mira. Ay. Uy. ¿Escuchaste? ¿Escuchaste?
Sí.
Fue allá.
¿Qué fue eso?
Sí. Como una voz.
Y ahorita que señalamos la pintura.
Sí.
Y mira. Está en un espejo. Sobre un espejo.
Mira. Una huella.
Acá también hay.
Pero estas huellas son frescas, ¿sí? Vean. Y es de mano pequeñita. Miren. Vean el tamaño de mi mano. Y vean el tamaño de la huella. Es una huella como de niño. ¿Ya vieron? Mira mi mano. Miren eso, intrusos. El tamaño de mi mano y el tamaño de esa huella que está ahí es como una huella de niño. ¿Ya viste, Dani?
Sí.
Mira. Es una mano pequeña. Y está fresca eso. Hay que tener cuidado porque puede haber algo aquí.
Esto como está aquí tiene simbología. ¿Por qué? Esto es un espejo. Los espejos son portales. Y este espejo ahí, mira. ¿Ven mi cámara? Lo que es arriba.
While using a roaming camera to scan the area, something disturbing came into view. A painting mounted above a mirror. Both were heavily scratched. The marks looked like something had crawled upward toward them, leaving deep trails across the surface below. Some believe mirrors can act as gateways, places where entities cross between spaces. The placement didn't feel random, it felt intentional.
¿Hay alguien cerca de nosotros? ¿Qué hubo? Queremos ayudarte, queremos darte luz. ¿Quién eres? ¿Quieres que te ayudemos? ¿Eras una monja? Sí. Fuertes de la noche. Dejamos nuestras cámaras grabando en este punto y mientras las estábamos acomodando, se puede ver detrás de mí algo que sale del pilar que está justo atrás. Algo asomarse, parece que se asoma, sube y baja en cuestión de segundos y desaparece. De verdad, lo más aterrador fue que en ese momento no nos dimos cuenta que estaba muy cerca de nosotros.
Then another clip revealed something even more unsettling. Right behind them, a shadowy figure with long hair slowly peeked out from behind a pillar, then pulled back out of sight. Based on its movement, one investigator believed it could be the spirit of a child. But considering the building's history, the ritual signs, and the escalating activity, many viewers weren't convinced. So the question remains, was it a playful spirit or something far darker? Using that appearance to get closer, cameras don't lie. But they don't always give us answers either. Drop your theories in the comments. Like if this kept you on edge. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one if you're not too scared to come back.